Hi guys, my third video today, March 10th. I was humming and hawing over whether to do this video or not. It's going to be really short. I'm going to do it because the book was so great it deserves singling out with a video. So at least people will see the thumbnail and say, oh, okay, there it is. Anyway, of course, it's Goethe, Life as a Work of Art by Safranski, Rudiger Safranski. I know I've mentioned it in videos before because I just reread it. It's a nice big book, and you know I love Goethe, and I wanted to read it again. I had the time and the opportunity, and so I wanted to reread it. So you know a book is good if you read it twice, right? And it's so good. The title is right, though. Like when you think about the title, and again, having read the book twice, you see that that's what it is. The Goethe, in a nutshell, is trying to not just make art, but be the beautiful thing, be the full and beautiful thing that art also is, right? So Goethe is the king of German literature, like Shakespeare's the king of English literature. But it's funny that, and please forgive me if I'm repeating myself too much, Goethe has always had an uneasy relationship with the German world, in the sense that he was the creator of Romanticism, okay, with his work of German Romanticism, with his work The Sorrows of Young Werther, as with his friend Schiller's play The Robbers. But are named as the beginning points of German Romanticism. Of course, I'm more partial to Werther, but Goethe wasn't. He didn't fit in some of the character traits of the romantic ideal. Goethe was too stable. He was mentally stable, emotionally stable. Of course, he was a young man when he wrote The Sorrows of Werther, young, passionate man, which is typical of somebody of, your teens or early 20s. But he matured quickly, and his disciples, so to speak, weren't happy that he became more rational or something, more, what's the word I'm looking for? More equilibrious, okay? Because these guys were passion addicts. We talked today about adrenaline junkies. Well, these guys were emotion junkies, and Werther, Sorrows of Young Werther, perfectly encapsulated that. And they wanted more from him, and they wanted it exactly like this, so to speak. But that's not who he was. He grew up, he matured. He had a really good job working for the Duke of Weimar, and he became a very important political figure in that small German principality. And besides that, Goethe was a real polymath in a way. He was really interested in other things: geology, graphic art, science, light. He wrote a book on theory of light. Wasn't very well received, but he really thought it was like one of his great accomplishments. But it was a work that was very much overlooked. So, of course, the ultimate Goethe would say his ultimate accomplishment, and I think most literary critics would agree, was Faust. Okay, the great two-part play Faust, and he finished it shortly before his death. It was his ultimate accomplishment. I read it years ago and didn't think much of it, but I'm definitely going to read it again. Plays and me don't have a great relationship. Maybe that's going to change. I'm reading Henry IV Part 1 right now, and I'm really enjoying it. So maybe there's hope for me with plays. I don't know. So, okay, so let's just grant that Faust is his greatest production or whatever. So Goethe also has Wilhelm Meister's Apprenticeship and Elective Affinities, which I've read sections of both and didn't immediately love either of them, but definitely going to give them another try. And of course, one of Goethe's important writings, of course, was also his autobiography. Yeah, he wrote an autobiography. And I've read parts of it, not all of it, but funnily enough, I've read this biography twice now, and his autobiography 0 times, or 0.1 times. Anyway, I like this biographer's interpretation of Goethe. It's a really holistic presentation of his life, his views, his relationships, his friendships, his philosophical and literary influences, and really so also his historical life, his intersections with Beethoven, Napoleon, and many other greats. So I just wanted to write a separate video for this biography, just to draw your attention to it. Goethe is a very important figure in the history of literature, and I don't think he's known enough or appreciated enough by Anglophones. So anyway, great book. Check it out. Thanks, guys. Bye now.